Hello, BAME farm fans. Yay, it's hay time. It's July 10th. It's been a hot minute since I've really been able to make hay. There's been just frequent enough rain chances. So we'll take a look at what we're about to TED. We missed mowing yesterday. I spent about all day mowing. Took a long time. Mowed a bunch. Enough to get me in trouble for one day. Some of this is pretty dry in the thinner spots, but there's some thicker spots. There's clover, which underneath is about as green as when I mowed it, and stuff on top's dry. But this was first mowed yesterday, and then over here was last mowed, and we'll compare that. This was getting mowed at dark, plenty bright, definitely not as dry. There's more moisture there. These leaves are not crackly at all. I'm a little bit worried about leaf loss, but there's just enough thick spots. And I want to ensure I get a good early start tomorrow, because we've got 1, 2, go behind the house, 3, 4, go across the driveway, 5, 6 backyards to get done. And we say they average at least 3 acres apiece. So I got a lot of pain coming and a lot of sweating, but that's hay season. So let's watch Tedder. Okay, so we're behind the Tedder, first pass. I had to go back and get the camera. Instead of doing this later, yeah, I know I got the rest of the field to do, but we'll take a look at what's coming out the back. And here's a nice green wet clump that's out on top. Obviously it's going to be drier on top over here until we flip it. And it looks like we kind of make 2 windrows, which is a little bit true. Some of it depends on how much hay there is, and I haven't played much with adjusting it. But it's a whole lot better than leaving it lay how it was, and it seems to help. So we're just kind of going with it. And there's adjustments to get the wheels, to change the angle. And I never got like the manual with this thing to know what the suggested adjustments are, but it came from a place that was making 2,000 acres of hay a year, so I don't know, maybe I was thinking maybe they took the time to adjust it right, or they just said screw it, put somebody in a tractor seat and sent it. Hopefully the first, but it came from Kentucky. I'm sorry if you're from Kentucky, but I've seen some things down there that, well, make me feel good about my mess. I'd say this is the thickest field of the 6, especially right in here, a whole bunch of clover and what is typically a wet spot. But I guess this year, because of our lovely dry May, oh, I love it, need more of those. The clover really took off there, because the grasses that it's mixed with don't typically like moisture. I wish I could cut hay as fast as I could TED. I don't know, do they have 777s? Everything is always about scale, big, big, big. Maybe there needs to be like a small big. Something that folds up to get your gates for me. Hopefully that looks as thick on camera as it does, with me driving over it. Like, it was having trouble still getting underneath the drawbar. I had a little drag on the drawbar or the hay vine, and I even got it a little bit today. It's not there anymore, but it did catch the hitch. On a side note, look back at the gearbox of the Tedder, and we're joining Team Get Lost with the Shield. Because you know what I didn't know? I didn't know that PTO shaft could come off so easily. Uh-oh, turn time. Yeah, there's a quick coupler on the PTO shaft take it off, so when I bring it over here behind the Ranger, way over yonder, I don't have to sit there and try to tie the PTO shaft up to something. I can just take it off and not worry about it coming loose. But I didn't know that because of all the shielding. Not to mention there's grease fittings for a universal and the slip clutch. They put holes in the shield, but they didn't line up in the same plane. I could get them lined up, but they'd be too far forward or too far back instead of side to side. So I say, well, we're staying out of the way because of the big spinny thingies. So nobody's hands should be back there when this thing is on, because they're going to get eaten by the arms of the tedder first. So we're going Team No Shield. Now, unfortunately, the tedder did sit out quite a bit all winter. So next winter, if it finds itself not in a barn, I can at least take the PTO shaft off and save that from the weather. Yay! So that is today's bit of petting and our news of why farmers remove shields. Accessibility. And if you're too stupid to put your finger there, well then you're probably a Nick, and that's just how it goes. Well, it wasn't that easy. See, you don't have to worry about a floppy PTO shaft. There's supposed to be a little flip-up stand there. That's great for when you're parked, but I wouldn't trust it going down the road. Found enough stuff to hold the hose and the string. We're safe, right? Oh, fits perfectly. Time for the next field.